it's about. Shitty mobile games. It's appropriate that,
TBC
you know, they're comparing World of Warcraft to Final Fantasy XIV, and you get an ad to a free-to-play game, free-to-play mobile crappy game. It's ironic because that's essentially what World of Warcraft feels like. It feels like a crappy free-to-play mobile game, except you pay for it. Unless you're raiding. The raids are good. That's about it. That's about all I'll give it.
To meet and Walker. But, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Not much from Blizzard to
it's
compete.
going to be like we were saying earlier about 9.1.5 being more keeping people instead of bringing in new ones.
Yeah.
That's what they'll have to do with TBC Classic, and that's, you know,
They're just going to release a new 6-month mount.
with all that drama, they may have wounded some of the people who will jump into it on June 1st or June 2nd, whatever. But
They need to learn public relations. It continually blows my mind, like, how bad Blizzard are at PR.
You want to know why Blizzard is bad at PR? Because they see PR as expendable. And I'm not even kidding. They literally see PR as expendable. Like, I've seen so much. I mean, to be honest, Blizzard are not the only culprits of this. There's a lot of companies, a lot of publishers. This is from my experience at like going to E3 and events and stuff like that. There's a lot of publishers that quite simply do not respect their PR departments. And why do I say this? Because I see the amount of rotation of people. Because, you know, PR departments are who people like me contact whenever we want like a game code or special access to something or whatever. We contact PR people. So we know about these things, and we constantly see, for some publishers, the amount of rotation, the amount of PR people they go through just tells you that they have no respect for their PR people, like zero, absolute zero. Like, you remember when they said, "Oh, Blizzard fired like 800 people"? Like, I'll tell you right now, 80% of those 800 people worked in PR, worked in outreach, worked in those types of departments, 100% guaranteed. So it's like, you need good PR. You need good PR, and if people aren't happy, they're gonna ditch the company and they're gonna leave. Like I don't want to call out this specific publisher. I think I might have done so in the past, but I had this publisher that I would work with. Their headquarters is in Spain, and there was a person there that I really liked talking to. And I seem to remember at one point I was with that person at Gamescom, and she just straight up told me, "Yeah, this job fucking sucks, dude. This fucking sucks. Like, the organization is terrible. The people in there are terrible. The pay is lousy. Like, it fucking sucks. First chance I get, I'm jumping ship." Like, she literally told me this, and I was like, "Oh, well, that sucks because you're really good at your job. Like, you're really good at like replying, and you have prompt responses, and you know, it was easy to get to her, so it was cool." And one day she just left. She didn't even send anybody emails or anything. She just fucking ditched. She's like, "Fuck this shit." So it's like, yeah. Companies need to have a lot more respect for their PR people. They need to have a lot more respect for their PR people. It's ridiculous.
That being such a, you know, outwardly community-facing company, they would have got good at this. But they're basically awful at it.
well, that's the problem. If you're not inwardly community facing, then all the messages inside will be garbled and not for players. So it's a case where I feel like a good social media and PR person is basically like opening a little window into the company at the best of times.
Yeah.
And going like, "Oh, look what we're doing internally. Isn't this really cool? Wouldn't you love to play?" They close the curtains again. But if you open the curtains on Blizzard and inside, they're not constantly striving for community purposes and all that stuff. And they are, you know, like largely being run, well, this is not really true, but a lot of like the drama being run monetization. If that stuff's happening internally and they're not like super hard fighting it internally, so we don't feel that. All we feel is the corporate PR side. Because
Gal Panda, I don't think that's like a good barometer. I don't think that's like a fair thing to say. I think that was like a unique case. As far as I'm aware, it wasn't even planned. So I'm not sure that is a fair assessment. And K-pop work, does Ian still play WoW? I don't believe that anyone in the Worldcraft team, in the World of Warcraft team, plays World of Warcraft any more than they absolutely have to do their job. Like, there is no way that anyone on, like, not a single person on that team plays that game beyond the point that they absolutely have to. Like, I'll tell you more. Like, if there's a week where they're like, oh, this week I'm working on something that doesn't even require me to play the game, they will not play the game that week. And it's super easy to see because literally a brand new player could come into World of Warcraft and find problems. Like a brand new player that has no idea. Like, for instance, I started playing World of Warcraft shortly before Burning Crusade came out, so I'm kind of like an OG. The one expansion that I skipped was Mists of Pandaria. But it's like I can find a lot of problems in World of Warcraft, obviously, because I have the experience. But I'm saying that someone with zero experience can jump into World of Warcraft and instantly start pointing out the problems. And the reason they'll be able to do that is because they're actually playing the game. So if the developers played like just an hour beyond what they have to play to do their job, just 1 hour a week, 1 hour a week would be enough. Of like 2 or 3 developers in World of Warcraft playing 1 hour of World of Warcraft a week, it would be enough for them to find ridiculous amounts of problems that they need to work on to improve the player experience. But they don't. Like, they play exactly what they have to play in order to do their job. Like, if someone is designing art assets in a zone, like, they will play exactly what they need to play to fly through that zone real fast at like 400% speed. They fly through that zone in like 5 minutes and like, yeah, looks good. Boom, done. Like that's what they do. They do not touch the game any more than they absolutely have to. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Yeah, well, sure. Remember, even on the topic of boosts, there's like a 2019 interview where one of the pretty important people from the Classic team said they're not going to do boosts, like, because they want to ruin the feel of Classic.
That was in Reddit AMA.
There we go.
Do you know who it was?
No,
It was John Height.
John Height, who said
Pretty
that?
sure it was John Height. I'm not 100%, but I'm like 95% sure it was.
Maybe
John
it was at least it was perhaps an AMA where John Height was one of the people working it in the Blizzard side.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure it was his name.
Oh, gotcha.
Actually, let me.
Well,
just,
in that case, it's pretty awkward being like, this date, we won't do this. This date, money, please.
But then Classic and Classic TBC aren't the same game.
Ah, yes, the TBC experience where that's it. No, it's just they're making it authentic, like with being an eBay player. Right, because that's what we used to call it back then. You're like,
exactly
you're a fucking eBay hunter.
Yep, that's exactly.
There was a lot of eBay hunters. A lot of people who mained and leveled their own hunters are also basically the friggin' skill of an eBay hunter. hence the incredible reputation that my main class has got.
Yeah. Nice one.
Ah, beautiful.
Nice one. Yeah.
So that is essentially our situation with there being no BlizzCon. I think for the other Blizzard games, people already know what's going on there. I mean, there is potentially the WoW mobile games. They could be announced during Games Fest. They could be announced during like a PAX or a Gamescom or something like that. I don't think they will announce them at a BlizzCon where they would be a mainline announcement. I think they only do them at a BlizzCon where they have a WoW expansion announcement, and then they can talk about the mobile game after, where people will feel like their main appetite's been sort of met.
Yeah.
So that's basically the situation.
Yep. But before we go to our next topic, very secretly scarily, I mean, I am genuinely being like ingenuous with this, or like disingenuous with this.
Yes.
I'm being disingenuous with this because this is a lot of like kind of like monthly events and stuff. But it's just the idea where like, when's all this content coming out? And then you go, there's FF14 at FanFest going. Here's our schedule until Endwalker, by the way.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking of like 5.55, that's more MSQ.
That's more MSQ, a bunch of updates and extra content for existing systems and things. So more stuff for the Bosnian Southern Front, which is a whole big system in and of itself. Extra relic steps for your relic weapon, which is a weapon that you
I thought that the relic steps were over.
An expansion. And it's a massive, massive grind, but it's a kind of North Star thing where you're spending a lot of time. And it's basically the nicest looking one that you will kind of replace with.
Yeah,
replace the patch
Shadowmancers,
weapons
they're
or
bringing the
content-
car
in-game
back,
content
dude.
weapons
September.
until you upgrade it later at a later stage.
I'm going to give me a
And then make it
regalia,
rain
baby.
is just,
Woo-hoo-hoo.
I think that's. I actually don't know what this is, but I know it's related to the Manderville Golds.
Right. So
Manderville
is
Gold
that
Saucer.
content?
So this is some light amount of content.
So like, it's
So this
basically
is-
not much.
Yeah, so
I
would
thought the
say
making
it's
it rain was
similar in
about.
concept to
Oh,
World
yeah, it
seasonal
probably
events,
is the gold saucer.
just significantly better.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember it's around Valentine's Day. They do Little Ladies Day, which is just a little thing of like.
This
almost
can't
like
be
orphan,
before
like Children's
Zadnor
Week
released.
in-
Like, this video came out yesterday. This video came out yesterday. So their podcast was like tops, like Zadnor released a while ago. Zadnor was here, May 25th. Make it rain so people have enough MGP for regalia. Dude, I'm sitting on like 1.2 million MGP, baby. I'm going to buy 5 regalias. God give a damn. It's the only reason I got MGP to begin with is the goddamn
but it
regalia.
has a really nice attached quest line, and you end up going around helping all these like little orphan people. It's really nice, but anyway. And then 5.57 and 5.58. We don't know what's going to be in these.
Okay.
I don't think
but it is
there's
largely
MSQ.
just smaller updates to existing systems, kind of like going, okay, we'll loosen lockouts, stuff like that. We'll loosen restrictions on.
That's
some
awesome,
in-game
Vtrago
content, things
7.
like that. And then Moonfire Fair / The Rising is another one of those events. FF15 collaboration is just get some rewards.
Get a car.
Yeah, it's like go do like,
Get a
go
car.
speak to these characters. Go.
I think the
run
regalia
your-
is
do your daily
200k.
content
That's what
and
people
get
tell me.
rewards, get like unique currencies while this event's active. Trade them in for this, because that's what they did over FanFest. I think it might still be active, but there's certain things you do, like you just do your like daily content and you'll get this currency, and you can go to a specific vendor and go, oh, here's limited time rewards for playing while this is active. And then obviously November is Endwalker.
Yeah, which is, I think, probably, well, literally, 30% more story content, according to Yoshi?
Yoshi P has said that to PC Gamer and also said basically everything has been massively upgraded, including combat. I saw someone talk about PvP changes in Endwalker that are going to actually make PvP a thing.
Oh,
I actually
right.
haven't looked into those, but 'cause
Prominent
PvP is not
Sniper,
really-
thank you
it
very much
exists,
for being gross incandescent
but
for 2
only
months.
in instance
Tip of the hat.
things, and it's not a
Appreciate
super part
support.
of the
Thank
game.
you.
Yeah, so that's but that's the fact that like it is now their expansion's out in November. It's now May. We know everything that's
Yeah.
going to come out.
I think, so it's mainly then a thing about optics, where
Yeah.
Blizzard looks not sure of itself, all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Optics-wise, FF looks at the top of its game, and with confidence from the team.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the sort of thing that, like, just it's the way that it comes off to viewers, right? Like, FF, it does... I think even if you don't really like what FF tries to do, it probably still seems like they have more of an idea of what they're doing, and they have just got their stuff sort of down pat more than Blizzard do. I think even the people who don't have interest in FF could at least sort of analytically see how it would look that way. So, yeah, that's the situation. Blizzard schedule, no BlizzCon, no surprises. No surprises.
It's hilarious. Like, look at the screen. Look at it. This shit's like seriously. I just look. You see, hey guys, look. Here's what's coming up for Final Fantasy 14. We got this event. We got this event. We got this event. This event. This event. This event. It's like, hey guys, what's happening to World of Warcraft?
So, yeah, that's the situation. Blizzard schedule, no
BlizzCon. It's like, sorry guys, we got to work on some content, so we can't do a BlizzCon. Meanwhile, they just did an amazing fan fest for Final Fantasy 14. That is for one game. Like, think about it. They did a fan fest for one game. Blizzard has all of their properties, and they're just like, yeah, we're just not, no, I'm not doing it.
BlizzCon. No surprises.
No surprise.
No surprises.
But it did give us a very interesting way to talk about their entire schedule.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys know what who I'd like to see try out 14? I don't know if he ever has or not. Scott Johnson. I don't know how many of you guys know who Scott Johnson is. Oh, wow. Bellular, stop! In the moment that since I've started this stream, he released another Final Fantasy 14 video. Bellular, stop! Please. Please, I have to watch these.